likes me some superheroes. More specifically, I like me some Marvel superheroes. More specifically, I like me some Marvel superheroes that gives me Lego to play with. And who doesn't like superheroes anyhow? Apart from elitist douchebags who seem to think that they're childish for some reason, therefore should not be looked at all. As if though having variation and choice in the movies that you watch somehow is wrong. Yes, there are actually people out there. There are plenty of articles in various newspapers and their online affiliated websites where people are basically shitting on the recent number of superhero based movies because they don't like them, because they think comic books are childish. They prefer more, I don't know, fancy textbooks from authors who died many centuries ago, or possibly sooner in some cases, but never mind. They're entitled to their opinion, and if they prefer something else over something else, that's up to them. However, what they don't get to do is tell other people that they should or should not like other things. Each person is entitled to their own opinion, their own likes, their own dislikes. That's what makes people people. Alright, run over. This is Marvel Superheroes, the Black Panther Pursuit. And I've got to say, I don't really like the look of the jet. It doesn't really look that exciting to me for some reason. It just looks fairly bland and basic. Now that might just be because this is a quick tie-in product, but other tie-in products have looked a bit more exciting, and others have looked far worse as well. But you know, it just doesn't look inspired, and that looks fairly basic. And that's obviously just a generic bike that they've thrown in there for Bucky to ride on, and I'm not bothered about that one bit. But I'm just not liking the look of that. Maybe it'll have some features that actually will surprise me and I'll actually change my opinion, but we'll see. Anyhow, we have the Black Panther, we have Captain America, we have the Winter Soldier, aka Bucky. And this is all tying into Captain America's Civil War, which in some cases, some people still insist on calling it Avengers 2.5, but that's simply because most of the Avengers are in this one, even though it's a Captain America movie, and it's all supposed to be tied in anyhow, so who really cares? There's been comic book crossovers for centuries, practically. So how long have we had superheroes anyhow? I'm thinking at least 2 centuries, given that we're in the 21st century and most superheroes that we're familiar with came about in the 20th century. I think Zorro is sometimes classed as one of the first superheroes, and I'm thinking he's from the late 19th century as far as his origins are concerned. You know, as in when he was first written about. Have to do some research on that one. That said, let's take a quick look at the box. We've got a little bit of an action scene here. Captain America and Bucky teaming up against the Black Panther. I'm not really liking the look of the helmet they picked for him there. That really looks horrible. What else have we got? The usual. Oh, there's Iron Man, although he's not actually in this one. I like what they've done with the hand there, though. So there must be some sort of special piece that they've moulded, some sort of blue transparent piece that you can fit into Iron Man's hands to let him have that glow. That's just reiterating the scene again, the Black Panther jumping out of his jet, and Captain America jumping out of his jeep, and Bucky riding on his bike. I'm glad to say though that there's nobody in the top right hand corner doing the Fonz impression. That's a plus. So yeah, there you can see all the background story there. True comic book fashion, just done with Lego, which is exactly what we want to see. Alright, let's open this bad boy up, and of course the first tab works perfectly, the second tab fails drastically. I'm reckoning this is going to be, oh, there's a comic book included. I didn't bother reading that bit. I reckon this is probably going to be about 3 bags. Let's see, 1, 3, 2. Yep. And there's the instructions. Which one of these is the comic book and which one's the right instructions? Comic books, stickers. I don't like stickers. Give us the printed pieces. Right. Here we go. More characters in there than you would imagine. We've got Falcon, we've got Black Widow, we've got some guy with a skull on his face. We've got Iron Man, we've got a wrecked Jeep. And we've got all of that. Yeah, that looks good. I'm wondering if this is actually a scene from the movie itself, because the movie is due out any minute now, and I haven't seen it yet. Yeah, there you go. Black Widow saves the day by destroying the jet with electrical discharges, which she occasionally has in the movies, although not often. Right, I'm going to jump cut and you'll see this completed in 3, 2, 1. And we're back, and I've got to say, I quite enjoyed that. The Jeep thing that Captain America has is quite a simple build. It's quite a rugged looking design. There's plenty of room for at least one more character in the back there. It's obviously aesthetically designed to have at least 2 people in the front, but you can't because of the launcher. We'll come back to that later. You could presumably have maybe 2 more people sat facing each other in the back there. Tires are nice and big and bulky. The unit itself, the whole unit looks quite solidly built. It's something that can go over pretty much any terrain it likes and leave its mark behind. It's not really going to be damaged much. That said, if this does actually feature in the movie, it's probably going to end up being destroyed. We'll know once we've actually seen the movie. And of course, Captain America's shield fits quite nicely on his arm there. Cap himself, he does look quite good. The print comes out quite nicely. It's quite a good detailed design. There's 2 alternative faces there, but there's the angry face in the back and the happy face, smirky face that he's got there. I've got to say, as much as I like the hairpiece, it just seems a bit high on the head. See, sort of gives him a semi-receding hairline by the looks of it. That is on properly, but it just sort of gives a false image. Chris Evans' hair is not receding, or if it is, it's not receding anywhere near that approximation. And the shield catches the light quite nicely, although it does knock out the autofocus as well. There we go, get the face in view, get the shield in view, and there we are. Right in the centre, so he's good for bashing people like that, or otherwise hammering into the faces like that and cutting them and all kinds of damage like that. And best of all, you've got a built-in weapon here. You might be able to see it. It's cleverly designed as part of the engine. And to actually launch it, you just press down like that, and off it goes. Nice and simple. Gotta say, Lego are having lots of fun with their hidden weapons. Bucky is simply riding a bike. It's a fairly standard looking bike. I'm pretty sure I've seen other designs like this. I forgot to put the lamp on, so I'll just say it's been shot or damaged or something like that. But there you go. He's got a nice little gun, which ideally you'll have to put on sideways like this when he's riding, so that you can still shoot it, because if you try having it like that, he's just sort of shooting upwards, which is a bit of a shame. But say la vie. Don't have it like that, because he'll break his wrist and then he'll need a robot hand for his right arm as well as his left. But all in all, quite a nice looking piece. And of course he does have 2 faces as well, his angry face and his smirky face. And the wig looks very good. It's very reminiscent of the hairstyle Bucky has in the movie. Quite the rebellious look, and the designer's stubble look here as well is also quite fetching. I've got to say, I do like the actual flesh tones that they're coming up with nowadays on the models. They do look quite genuinely close to real skin colours. Kind of miss the yellow look, but I suppose they're trying to get away from any comparison to The Simpsons. The jet is quite a solid piece in its own right. You could potentially break it if you hit it harder than that, but overall, I've just realised what kind of mistake I've made there when I've put it together. See that? Let's just get that off. Except I can't. Oh dear. Well, that buggers the aerodynamics up, but as you can see, I've managed to foul up so that is facing, instead of facing like that, it's facing in, and you can see the green. I've got to admit, it's a bit weird how it insists on having certain colours that are going to be hidden away, completely obscured. Both of them have different coloured bricks that are quite distinct. They would be quite nice to actually see them to bring out more colour and tonage and stuff like that, but they're used as bricks to build on top of. There we go, got my nail underneath there, and we can finally fix that. But they're used to build on top of instead of being used for display purposes. This purple is quite a nice colour. I don't think I've seen purple Lego bricks before. And the grey is fairly standard, but you know, when you've got these green bits that you can see within the cockpit, for example, and these other green bits behind them, why are they being used for building upon? Why not just have more black bricks, for example? You know, is it cheaper to make the green bricks than it is the black bricks? I don't quite get that. Inside we've got a fire extinguisher, we've got no flight controls whatsoever other than this bit which is supposed to have a sticker on, and we have the standard weapons underneath. I kind of think they could have gone out with a bit more weapons here. You know, maybe something else, another launcher or two over on either wing, but they've gone for these button launchers and I can't quite. Let's just face upwards and fire into the sky, or in my case the ceiling, and there you go. They were quite nice, and actually gets quite a bit of I never even saw that fly up in the air. I was hoping to sort of trace its movements, but unfortunately not. Let's just see if we can get this back on and then we'll give it another shot. Yeah, that nearly hit my ceiling. Nearly. But it has bounced off the table and onto the floor. But yeah, there's various stickers, and I don't bother with stickers myself. I don't particularly care for them, but there would be a control sticker there. It just would be nice to have a little control stick as well. Something to actually show how he's flying the plane with. The actual figure. Okay, so quite a nice design there. It looks highly detailed. The head is just a head with a little halo bit on top, so you get these little horn-like ears, which are, you know, supposed to be cat ears, I suppose, but it just doesn't quite work for me. It feels a bit silly. I think if they'd actually gone the whole hog and gone for a sort of helmet to fit on top of the actual head itself, I probably would have looked a bit better. But just another quick look at the jet. You might think that these are sort of swing wings, but they're not. But they all put together quite nicely. Everything, including these sections here, basically has some sort of fairly unique design builds on them. There's been quite a lot of creative thought into how to give it the look it has, how to give it the build it has. And I've got to admit, I like these black bricks here, these little, they're usually roof panels, but most colours I've seen them in the past have been red. This time they're not smooth, they just have a sort of roof gradient feel, which is what you would expect for roof tiles, but and same here. But they've just done them red instead, which is quite a nice. They've done them black instead of red, that is, which is quite a nice, nice look. Although, as part of a military jet or a superhero's jet, I would have expected them more to be smooth than anything else. They do have a nice look. It does help break up the texture a bit, but you would just expect them to be smoother for aerodynamic purposes. And the underside is fairly standard and generic, and you can see the green bits poking through, which does kind of look, it's just a bit on the silly side. But all in all, I still find it a bit bland in some regards, but the build of it is actually quite good, quite a challenge, quite enjoyable. So if you see this, yeah, I'd recommend it. It's fun enough. You might want to modify this a bit. I think I might be changing and modding that in future myself, but we shall see. Well, that's all for tonight, so I shall see you when I see you. Bye-bye.